Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang captaincy
Mm.
has been stripped. He's no longer the captain. Is this a surprise to you, or what are you thinking about it so far?
Bro, what a great story for the Amazon documentary, eh? I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, like they're
All or
trying to
nothing.
jazz it up, or All or
Yeah.
Nothing, which is coming out at the end of the season or next year, whenever it's coming out. Am I surprised?
Hi there, guys, and welcome to a Dashing Sports Premier League show. I'll be your host and presenter, Dashiki Dash, and I'm back with another one featuring Coach Gerald Lammy, aka Coach G, as we discuss the Aubameyang captaincy. He's been stripped, third strike, and it looks like it's done for him as captain of Arsenal. To hit up Coach G in the DMs and be like, look, man, we got to talk about this. What is going on at Arsenal? So here we are to discuss it. But before we jump into the show, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, and help me to get these subs up. I truly appreciate your love and support with that. And remember to press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my shows. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Hi there, guys, and welcome back to a Dasher Sports Premier League show. We're back again with my broski, Coach G.
yeah. Hey, I'm excited. It's been a little while. Life's been
a while.
happening, but yeah, man. When you hit me up and you was like, "What's going on, bro?" I had to put everything aside, and I said, "Yeah, we're doing this. We're doing this." So this is dedication, people. Do you know what I mean? We're here, man. We're here.
100%. How you doing, my bro?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I've got to represent New York City as well.
New
They've
York
just
City,
become
son.
MLS champions. What up, dog? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Big up New York City.
That coach stripped down, bro. I heard that basically he had a bet that if they win the league, he's going to obviously strip. And he actually did it. Man was taking off his top.
You know how them Americans are,
yeah,
man.
bro.
They're just wild, just do whatever they feel like it. So
I'm just like, yo, man, kids, there's kids in the stadium, man. But yeah, man, New York City.
New York City, baby.
But, we're here with the Premier League and there's a lot been going on. And like you said, man, I hit you up last night in the DMs and I was saying, my bro, this Aubameyang thing is a bit mad. So we're going to get into the Aubameyang captaincy being stripped. They snatched that off his arm. Man, there's so much been going on. But let's just jump straight into it, man. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang captaincy has been stripped. He's no longer the captain. Is this a surprise to you, or what are you thinking about it so far?
Bro, what a great story for the Amazon documentary, eh? I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, like they're trying to jazz it up, or All or Nothing, which is coming out at the end of the season or next year, whenever it's coming out. Am I surprised? Probably not, just because of the antics that's been happening between him and Arteta I'd say from the end of last season, really. It hasn't really been the best of relationships, which has been documented out, in public. In terms of the background of the story, we've heard, the reasons why, or the reason why. However, for me, it can't just be that. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be a series of events that it's got to this point where it's become public as well. Do you know what I mean? So there has to be a chain of events for it to get to this point. Because if it is for that reason why he's been stripped because of, turning up late, from visiting his mum or trying to bring his mum here for medical reasons, then it's a bit out of hand from Arsenal, which I don't believe it is. And I don't know the full story, which a lot of us won't know, apart from the people that
won't be privy to knowing. Yeah,
exactly. So and I doubt they probably will show it in the documentary as well, just because it's such a sensitive situation. It's family matters at the moment. But talking about footballing reasons, we spoke a little bit about it yesterday when I hit you up, because we needed to discuss this, man, as Arsenal fans as well. It's another TV show, like, no pun intended. There's one coming out anyway, but it's literally a TV show with Arsenal again, We've had this in numerous
The
occasions.
gift that keeps on giving, as they say.
Keeps on giving. If you're not an Arsenal fan, yeah, you're loving this. But yeah, we've had the Xhaka scenario. I read the other day. We've had 11 captains in the last 14 seasons. That just shows instability.
Mm.
And the going forward now, we need to appoint someone that's gonna be at the club for a long time, someone that has got the right pedigree. Um, yeah, and it's just a shambles dash
Be-
shambles.
before we get into it, because I know you're teetering
Yeah,
on
yeah,
wanting to give
I was
your
gonna get into
opinion
it. Yeah, yeah, but I
on
thought
who
let me
you want to
wait.
be next.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
what I want to just let's dial it back a little bit, and just in terms of the Aubameyang situation. So we've gone from Koscielny
Yeah.
leaving
Mhm.
as captain. He's thrown a stinker up, and then he's just said like he wants to leave. It's not the first
Mhm.
time that a captain of ours has displayed such this tent, and in terms of having an armband.
Mhm.
Seems like we've got like a captain's curse. But we know, fast forward to Aubameyang now. Aubameyang's been given the captaincy. Was he really the best candidate that we wanted? Personally, I don't think it was. But in
Mhm.
terms of as him being a talisman, it was almost like an obvious choice in
Mhm.
it in
Mhm.
terms of that. But the thing about being a talisman is if you don't continuously perform, if you're not consistent with your performance, that then throws up the weight of that armband on your shoulder, that on your arm, basically. That
Mhm.
always think that it's not too dissimilar to like Henri's situation as well. I know that Henri
Yeah.
was our talisman. He was our goat. But I always felt like there was always something being taken away from him in terms of being that captain. I like
Mhm.
my strikers. I don't really like strikers being captains. That's my own personal view, and I
Mhm.
just like my striker to concentrate on goals and not worrying what's going on behind him in terms of that, not needing to turn around and shout
Mhm.
and trying to control the game like that. I like my either my defenders or my midfielders. Now with Aubameyang, obviously he's come from Dortmund. He's already a braggadocious guy. We've seen him on the socials, and this is not me trying to disrespect him or throw him under the bus in terms of like this situation now, because he's down and out right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But what I'm saying in terms of the character, he's braggadocious, he's flashy. You see him on the social, my brother, my G, all of that
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Swag, all of that kind of stuff. But in terms of being a captain, it was already like, I don't know. Now, I thought personally that being a captain would have simmered him down. He's
Mhm.
coming into his 30s now. He's probably all of that is past and behind. But we're kind of seeing the similar antics that was to the latter stages of him at Dortmund is what we're seeing now. What's your take on that?
Yeah, bro, I echo a lot of things that you said. I do also feel a lot of footballers when they do have a character, they are targeted. We got to remember now that a lot of these players are brands, and some of them make more money than they do with their wages. To be
Mm,
fair, with endorsements that they get, so Aubameyang is a brand himself with his stuff that he's got going on outside of football. At the same time, I think a lot of fans are probably forgetting what this guy has done for us as well. Do you know what I mean? Yes, he's going through a bad patch at the moment. You don't see anything in the media that he's done that's wrong. Yes, is he
mm.
vocal on the social media? But who is it? Do you
Most
know what I
players,
mean?
yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you can express your opinions and do you know what I mean? Just enjoy it. But in terms of him being reckless outside of the pitch, we've never heard of anything like that. Do
Mm-mm,
you know what I mean?
mm-mm.
So he's a family man. Um, does he like he's flashy stuff and whatnot? Of
His
course he does, but
ambience.
but you know what? He deserves it, bro. He's worked hard for it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Go and get your gold Lambo. Go and enjoy it. However, when you're doing things like that, and like you said, when you're not performing on the pitch and you're captain on top of that, you're gonna get criticism. Do you know what I mean? And I believe he knows that as well. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
But in terms of him being a captain, I think it was the right choice just because of he was he wasn't selfish when Arteta came in and he said to him, "Go and play out on the left," and which we've spoken about it. And
mm.
there was times where this guy was left back and Tierney was playing left
Coming
wing. Do you know what I
forward,
mean?
yeah,
Bombing
yeah.
forward. So there was an element of him working hard for the team. And to be fair, he does work hard for the team. Like there's never been a game that I've seen Aubameyang and I'm thinking, oh, he's walking around, and yeah, there might be 1 or 2 games he might have been tired or whatever, but
Mm.
9 times out of 10 he puts in a shift for us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want
I,
to go on, bro.
no, I was gonna say I definitely agree with that because the aspect of him not scoring, he
Yeah,
has been able to show us that he's prepared to work.
100%.
We can't take that away from him. And I was gonna mention as well in what you said in terms of in terms of him being on a pitch and playing and stuff like that. I feel this could be a blessing in disguise.
If
Honestly,
there's a way back for him.
if there's a way back for him and if he's willing to just be like to understand, you know what, maybe this captaincy wasn't for me. Now the
Mm,
pride, your pride is going to be
yeah.
dented when something gets taken. And Arteta did say that obviously when it was like, oh, is he going to be picked for West Ham? And it's just like, you know what, he needs time to heal.
Hmm.
It's going to hurt that
100%.
captaincy being stripped from him. But I just feel like if he's willing to be like, you know what, let me push on from this, roll up my socks or pull my socks up, as
Hmm.
the saying goes, knuckle down and get back to the goals, then I feel like the being captain, that weight of being captain, if it's lifted from him, he could still
Mm.
bounce back. But
Hmm.
he's gonna have to be willing to maybe, let's just give an example of Xhaka. You know what I mean? Xhaka was
Yeah.
almost down and out. If anything, he was down and out. But
Yeah.
he,
The
you
fans
know,
turned on him.
yeah, the fans turned on him, and Aubameyang's situation right now, I don't think the fans have turned on him. It's just
Mm.
kind of just understanding the situation, and because we don't have the full story, we can
Hmm.
only just speculate. From what we've been told, is just obviously on 3 occasions now he's been disciplined for pretty much a similar thing in terms of
Hmm.
lateness, and as if you're a captain, you're a leader, you got to lead by example, innit?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe on these 3 occasions he hasn't done so, and is warranted the the stripping of the captaincy. Which is, if that's the story, it's fair enough. We got to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
understand. We can't be just holding people down for sentiment, and because he's got the number 14,
Hmm.
he's done bits for us for the get us the FA Cup and stuff like
Yeah.
that. We've got to move on from that because we're trying to progress.
Hmm.
Let's not get it twisted. We're trying to go on an upwards trajectory. And if it's a case where someone like Aubameyang is not working for him, I would prefer it to be done now rather than stringing it on.
Yeah. Yeah. I
The,
agree with you.
the next thing I wanted to ask you in terms of management now, do you think Arteta was right to air out this dirty laundry in public? What's your take on that?
It's a hard one. It's a hard one because going back, I think like we said, this feud or whatever, this altercation between him and Aubameyang's been happening for since last season. To be fair,
Mhm.
so but the one that kind of raised my eyebrows a little bit was the United game when he took him off and we needed a goal. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where it was like, you know what? There's something happening here where it's clearly like there's something happening between them two. Do you know what I mean?
Or even
Um,
Everton, and he's put
the
on
Everton, yeah,
Nketiah
Nketiah.
and,
Do you know what I mean?
who did he put out first? I think he put Nketiah out on
Yeah,
the left.
Nketiah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and he brought him on for the last few minutes,
For the last
which
few
is
minutes. So do you know what I mean? So it's whatever's happening with Aubameyang, it's clearly something is off the pitch is something happened like in his personal life, which is clearly again shown to us. Um, it affects players, man. It affects players in the performance. We've seen it with like Jesse Lingard, where people are like, oh, he's not the same player no more. What's going on? He's not a United player. There's things going on with his personal life. As soon as he went to an environment where he's feeling loved, we saw what he did. He was in contentions of
mm.
going to the Euros and whatnot, which I believe he should have gone. But I'm going off topic a little bit. But
No, but are
it,
you now are you saying that if Aubameyang, this environment might not be
yeah,
for him, and if he goes to another club, do you reckon he'll get back to form?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think we're forgetting this guy. Wherever he's gone, he's bagged goals. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
He's a serious goal scorer. Do you know what I mean? So if he goes to a different environment where he feels loved, where he feels valued or whatever, I'm not saying he probably not feeling that at Arsenal. It's just maybe the management. Going back to what you said, the management between him and Arteta. Arteta's still learning on the job. Whether it was right for him to put it out in public, I don't know. Maybe for him, he feels that he needs to put this out in public to kind of set some authority to show that
mm.
listen, no one's bigger than the club, no one's bigger than or even himself. He's trying to make himself in a place where putting fear, I guess, into certain players. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But would I have done it? I don't know. I don't know. But at the same time, you got to put it out there.
I felt this is my take on it. If it's the case, this is the third time he's been disciplined.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You
Yeah.
would have had a conversation with the
Hmm.
player, for us coaches, with our participants or players
Hmm.
or whatever. And then if this is the third time, you'd be like, oh, after the first time, you'd be like, look, you need to knuckle
Hmm.
down. I'm going to give you this chance, benefit of the doubt.
Verbal
Second,
warning.
yeah, verbal one. Second time, you sit down with you, like, come on, man, you're the leader,
Mm.
bro. You're trying to gas him up. If it's the third time now, you'd be like, bro, the first time, the
Yeah.
second time, we've had this chat, man. It's not changing. Like
Hmm.
by the second time, you would have been like, look, if this happens again, bro, you understand I'm gonna have to strip you of the captaincy. Do
Hmm.
you agree with that? Is everything okay? Do you understand? Yes, yes, boss, yes, gaffer. Then when it happens, I don't think it would have been surprised. Um,
Yeah, yeah, because he did say, well, he didn't give us much in it in terms of what the conversation was. But again, going back to what you're saying, we've got a young squad. Yeah, so if your senior players are behaving this way, what sort of example is it setting to the young boys? Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So again, it's a thing where he's had to take that decision to strip him off the captaincy. Now, you're not just going to get on with it and say, all right, cool, you're not captain no more. Like, people are going to ask questions like, what's going on? Why is Aubameyang not captain? Why is he not playing? So, for it to get cleared, you have to come out with a statement. You have to move on forward.
mm.
I personally see this as another Ozil, bro. I see another Ozil situation.
I hope
Um,
not, man.
I can't see it. I can't see it happening. Like, yeah, I know what you're saying. Would he come back? But bro, when you're on that amount of money, yeah, that little bit of hunger will go naturally. So
Mm.
he doesn't have that same hunger of, proving people wrong, or I don't know. It goes a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And he might do. Who knows? And I hope he does, because I still feel like we've got a player in him. Like, do you know what I mean? We still got one of the best strikers in the league. He's
Mm.
obviously going through a bad patch, but that 350 talks, boy.
I
You know what
think
I
it's going to be
mean?
a telling time for Arteta because equally he can go left or right with this. He can go,
Yeah.
let's just say, left in terms of this not working out. And the decision he's made obviously is detrimental to the squad. As we're hearing, some players, once again, this is just a hearsay. So
Mhm.
I really hate
Allegedly.
allegedly
Mhm.
we're hearing that there's some of the players that are turning around saying that they've recognized that he isn't a great leader, he isn't a great captain, and not feeling it. Which we've been in team settings. There are gonna be
Mhm.
some players that are gonna be feeling your style, and there's gonna be some players that are gonna be looking at you thinking, bro, I'm fully professional here, and the way
Mm.
you're acting is not professional.
Mhm.
Or Arteta could show where he's accused of his lack of man management. If he's able just to get a tune out of Aubameyang right now, this
Mm.
will be like another, like maybe feathering Arteta's cap. But
Mhm.
it's just because he's inexperienced, we don't
Yeah.
know whether he's going to go left or right with this. So he's really going to be, in terms of his decisions that he's making. Throughout his tenure of management with Arsenal, it's real crucial for him at this point in time.
100%.
Um, just before we go on to who possibly could be the next captain, because I know you're itching to go with that. I just wanted to just touch on just quickly, just what is your thoughts in terms of January with Aubameyang? Do you think now that obviously the captaincy's gone, there has
Yeah.
been rumors since last season to this season, well, during the summer that he could possibly go, maybe Barcelona or somewhere like that. I'm hearing that Juventus. Do you think he goes in January?
If someone's willing to take that 350 on board, then
That's
yeah, that's a
real
big
talk.
wage. That's a big wage bill there. Barcelona obviously have lost Aguero. Juventus look like they need a striker. They don't really have an out and out striker apart from Morata. So yeah,
Morata.
Morata. So he could move in January. Again, it's just whether or not they're willing to take on that big wage bill. I'm sure Aubameyang at this moment, emotions are running high. He's probably thinking, I want to get out of here as well.
Mm,
But it's just crazy how it's gone from one extreme to the other. Like,
bro, it's like
Arteta convinced him.
the fastest decline, bro.
It's mad.
One
Yeah.
second we're seeing armpits being raised in the air. You know what I mean? FA Cups,
Yeah,
community
yeah, yeah, yeah,
shields, it's
yeah.
all happy days. It seemed like Arteta had a great position and
Mhm,
style of play for Aubameyang. considering how we got to
Yeah.
the FA Cup final and
Hmm.
obviously won the Community Shield, and then to this. This is why I'm so like, since the news is broke, I haven't been going all out and trying
Yeah.
to criticize Aubameyang, because I understand, man.
No, it's unfair. It's unfair to do that,
This is
man.
still one of our best players. He's done so much for us, and I'd rather to afford him the time to understand what the situation is. Maybe in time we'll get to understand, um, the reasons why. I think this is
Mhm.
completely different to the Shaka situation, where you saw Shaka verbally abusing fans.
He's not having
He,
it.
you know what I mean? What he done, he wasn't having it. You know what I mean? And Unai Emery was right for
Mm.
stripping him at the time. Obviously, Arteta's come in and it's a different tune. But yeah, it's gonna be quite. If the stories that are coming out of Arsenal, that, or the rumors in terms of we're looking for a new striker because of the fact that Lacazette's going, Eddie
Mhm.
Nketiah's going now, if Aubameyang is seemingly on his last legs at Arsenal, we're gonna look to get a new striker. I know we're
We
going
need
to.
more than one, bro.
Yeah,
If
more
that's
than
the
one,
case, we need
if that's
more
the
than
case.
one. So
So it'll be whether or not we pull the trigger in January, or it's just all out in the summer. But it's going to be real interesting to see where Aubameyang, or how he's integrated into the squad up until that point of January. So just moving on. So Aubameyang's been stripped.
mhm.
Who would be your choice of the next captain of Arsenal Football Club long term?
But so key word that you said there, long term.
Long
Yeah,
term. I'm gonna
long
go for
term.
long term.
Exactly, especially like I mentioned earlier on, we've had 11 captains in the past 14 seasons. Just shows the instability that we have had over the years in terms of captains and whatnot. And just touching on quickly in terms of Arteta and his decision making, maybe this is what we needed to kind of shift things a little bit around, because I feel like a lot of players, especially the senior players at Arsenal, they feel like they can do whatever they want. For a couple of seasons,
Mm.
it's been like that. Do you know what I mean? The Ozils and
Maitland Niles,
Maitland, like these
um,
players are coming out disrespecting the club. Do you know what I mean?
Willian, when he
Willian's come.
went away to go and see Salt Bay
Do
and
you know?
came back late. God.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like maybe this is what we need. Do you know what I mean? To kind of just freshen things up. So again, keyword, freshen things up.
Mm.
My, I wouldn't. All right, cool. I'll put out a post here. I said Saka. Yeah, I said Saka, but which I
Jump
got
straight
corned.
into it.
I got corned. I got corned
Mm.
by a lot of people. Here's my reasons. Yes, there's other candidates that you can look at and be like, you know what, they're probably a little bit more suitable. So I've heard possibly Xhaka again. Now, us doing that is just going back to old ways.
Ah, please, no, not
Do you know what I
Xhaka.
mean?
It
I've
could
heard
not be
people
that.
say Xhaka. I've heard people say Laka. With Laka, we don't know what's going on with him. Whether he's staying, whether he's going. Um, yeah, we're uncertain of what's happening with that. And if he does stay anyway, how many more seasons is he going to stay? Another season or
Mm.
two? Like really, how long is he going to be at the club? Who was the other shouts? Tierney. For me, Tierney, he's one of the main candidates for me personally. However, injury pro already. This is going to be another situation of when we had Mertesacker, where he was
As club
club
captain.
captain. He's never on the pitch really. Koscielny, same thing after a couple of seasons. He was hardly on the pitch after a little while because he kept getting injured. So that's my only concern with Tierney. Who else was there? I've heard Partey, which he's one of the senior players as well. Again, he's someone that I don't
Still
feel he
finding
has.
his feet.
Yeah, he's still finding his feet. He hasn't really solidified to say, I'm an Arsenal player. I'm the main man here in the middle of the park. There's been a lot of games where he just loses concentration. So again, I don't know. He could be in that mix, I guess, that senior group that
Mm.
Arteta says. Who else is there? Ramsdale. I've heard a lot of people say Ramsdale as well. Again, he's only been there 5 minutes. I haven't seen him go through any adversity at Arsenal. How does he react to things like that? Because going through adversity at Sheffield United or Bournemouth, no disrespect, is not the same as Arsenal. There's a lot of pressure. Can he handle that?
He's definitely got the qualities, but like you said,
100%.
just young, 23. He's still even finding his feet and establishing himself as number one at Arsenal, which is
Yeah,
not guaranteed. Although
exactly.
he looks like he's it's a
He's
nail on.
solidified, yeah, for
Yeah,
now. Do you know what I mean? So again,
but
but he's
yeah.
only been there 5 minutes. I've heard Gabriel. Again, someone that could have the leadership qualities. However, at the moment, his English isn't the best. I know he's
No fala inglês.
do you know what I
No
mean? So
fala.
he's learning. Do you know what I mean? He's learning. He's growing with the club. Who else is there, bro? I'm trying to think.
Um,
Who else is there that
I,
really
I
can?
I think you've touched on in terms of like I see where you're going in terms of the senior aspect. Obviously, Saka, given your reasons, and look, you say you got corn, but you're not the only one that's obviously mentioned that likes a Saka. Halen boy,
Yeah,
Arsenal pretty much through and through. Not even pretty much. He's
he's
Arsenal through and
Arsenal.
through.
He's Arsenal, bro.
At the age of 18 to 20 now, he's
He's 20. Yeah.
pretty much been, if not one of our main players,
Hmm.
one of our go-to players at such a tender age. Fabregas was given the captaincy at a young age as well. And look
What was
how
he?
it lived.
20? I can't
Yeah,
remember how.
about 22, 23.
23. Yeah.
And look how that kind of, galvanized his game,
Hmm.
brought him up. So for me, I wouldn't have been part of the group that would have been giving you corn about the Saka
Yeah. Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's just like, because we've been down that route of our players giving them so much too early
Responsibility. Yeah.
responsibility, even game time. The
Hmm.
likes of Jack Wilshere, like he got just run down due to excessive game time. I just want the likes of Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, just to take time to just
Hmm.
learn their craft, learn
Yeah.
the game without so much pressure at the present moment. I feel like if they're given so much responsibilities now, it kind of takes away from their development.
Hmm.
As much as it seems like it will help with their development, I just feel like too much on their plate right now. You know what I mean? You get a full belly and you get a belly ache. You know
I
what I'm
hear you.
saying? So it's just like, let's take time. But because we're so in the mud in our situation right now, it's just we're looking left and right. We don't know who to pick.
It's
Um,
just mad.
it's
It's mad,
mad.
bro.
So, like in terms of that, there's a few candidates that you just thrown. How are you feeling about this consortium of of players
It's
that
mad.
are, because it's not the first time Unai Emery did, the
Yeah. Yeah.
five
Yeah.
captains,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
vice captains. How are you feeling about Arteta's bringing forth once again this consortium of players that are going to be responsible, essentially going to be done in the armband once
Yeah.
again?
I think personally, I think it's a lot of clubs do that. To be fair, again, a lot of people. I think the captaincy thing has kind of changed a little bit in the previous seasons or previous years,
Mm.
whereas now you get a collective of leaders, and just because you got the captain's armband doesn't mean like you're the only one. There's a lot of voices in the changing room
Yeah,
that
yeah.
lead the team. Do you know what I mean? So my thing with Saka was, um, again, he's held us up. Put it this way, he's held us up. Do you know what I mean? For many, many years. Again, just quickly touching on that before I go into the consortiums. Yeah. Um, I feel like, is it too early for him? I do feel it is a little bit too early for him. However, my reasons from the other candidates, I'm thinking Saka's the only one at the moment. However, if we're going to look at it in the short term, if Laka does commit to the club and says, you know what, I'm going to be here for the next 2 seasons and whatnot, give it to Laka. I'll give it to Laka, build on it, and then let's see out of the young crop that's at Arsenal at the moment. Let's
Mm.
see who can take on that responsibility going forward. Because then at the end of the day, that's the group of consortiums that will take over. Do you know what I mean? So for me personally, it's important to have that group, a group of five, group of four, whoever it is, because you need more than one voice. It's the days of this is the way to do it and this is the only way we're going to do it has changed. There's different cultures, um, there's different ways to go about things. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
you need a group of players to speak their voice. Do you know what I mean? And give their opinion. So for me personally, I think that's a good way to go about it. We're
I,
living in a day and age, bro, where opinions matter. So we got to listen to every voice counts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you just touched on the short term aspect. I think personally right now, if it is a case that we're looking for the short term fix, and Lacazette is going to stay until even the summer,
Yeah.
or he's going in the summer, and he commits himself and goes, look, I'm down for the cause. I'm not going to interrupt the season by trying to with any speculations in the January, just to help the
Yeah.
team out and stuff like that. I would say maybe just give it to Lacazette because
Yeah,
obviously he
yeah.
shows that drive, he shows that passion.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy for him at this present moment to be playing bit part to Aubameyang, but he's shown the attitude
He's
that
a
is
leader, bro. He's a leader.
100%. There's a name that's missing, and I
Go on.
don't know how you feel about it. What about Martin Odegaard?
Yeah, again, he's a captain for his country. But same thing. He's been here. He hasn't been. Yeah, he was on loan or whatnot the previous season. But again, he hasn't solidified himself as
Mm,
an Arsenal boy, like through and through. He's dedicated to the cause. We don't know yet. Do you know what I mean? However, the other guys that I said, like the Sakas and whatnot, we know he's our boy. He's come through the academy. He understands what it is to be an Arsenal player. He's England international as well. Do you know what I mean? He is the leader of that young crop, really, in terms of if we're talking about talent and whatnot. He's been waving a flag for us.
mm.
So, yeah, Odegaard, I think all these names, bro, they sound good or they have let me say they have the potential.
Potential,
Even
yeah.
even with Saka, he has the potential eventually. However, there isn't one to say, all right, cool, let's go with him. That's why
Mm,
maybe we might have to do a Laka for a season or two if he does commit to the cause.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if he doesn't, what are we gonna do then? Who's gonna be captain?
The good thing about it is that we do have what I would say from the young crop, we do have like very strong characters,
Hmm.
um, who have potential, that leadership quality, whether it be vocally, whether it be in terms of playing style,
Hmm.
your Martinellis, your ECRs, your Sakas, even don't forget Sambi Lokonga as well, coming from
Hmm.
Anderlecht. He was
Yeah, he
actually,
was captain.
Anderlecht's youngest captain, Vincent Company, gave him the captaincy. We've got the Ben Whites, you've got the Gabriels, Tierney's. So there is a lot of good, strong characters,
Hmm.
and not so much of the. And I don't want to take this away from Aubameyang because it makes him who he is, but less of the braggadocious and the flashy kind of stuff that comes with it. That may possibly be a distraction
Hmm.
to this crop of players that seem pretty much like the professional, like type coming to training. Man like
Yeah.
Tierney coming with a Tesco bag and just, you know what I mean. He ain't at
T-shirt and shorts in
no
the
long
snow,
thing.
bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So maybe it is the direction that
Yeah.
Arteta is thinking. You know what? This in order to progress, in order to really get serious, in order to really be trying to push for this Champions League position, trying to push in the direction of winning titles.
Mhm.
We need to bun the distractions,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
get down to the nitty gritty, work hard, push. None of this
Mhm.
coming late business. And like we was just touching on, in terms of it could just be based on just lateness and stuff like that. But if it's starting off like that, what else could happen? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
yeah.
rather nip it in the bud right now and then be like, this is the standard, rather than just being like, this is Aubameyang, this is our talisman, this is the only person that scores goals for us and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So it's almost like kind of sacrificing that aspect and be like, look, he's going to be moving on soon. He's
Mhm.
31, 32. You know what I mean? His time is limited here. Like in 18 months' time, he's going to be gone. Should I act now and set the standards as we mean to go now, or should we just wait until he's gone? Like you
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? It's just like,
Mhm.
so I do agree with Arteta with that, but at the end of the day, we are in a results business, so he
Yeah.
has to now implement things. Was just like, okay, if we are going to be missing someone like Aubameyang, what can we now do? Can he get the right combination of players? Can he get can he galvanize the rest of the players and be like, look, this is your time to shine now. Your
Yeah.
Martinellis, can he integrate Pepe back into the
Mhm.
to the
Yeah.
swing of things? You know what I mean? So he has gonna have to put in a lot of work
Mhm.
for taking away a talent such as Aubameyang, which is it's gonna be interesting to
It's
see,
gonna be a
bro.
hard one as well, man. It's gonna be a
Yeah,
hard one.
man, it's gonna be interesting.
Who would you give it to then, Dash?
So I would say short term. And I'm basing it on short term first. I'm not really feeling the consortium business kind of
No?
stuff. I understand, because even in Tony Adams' times, you still had Martin Keown,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
still
yeah.
had
Lee
your Winton
Dixon.
Dixons and
Mhm.
Parlers and stuff like that. So that would have been the consortium of group. of players that would have been very vocal in and around the change rooms, but you had the one vocal leader
Mhm.
in Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, probably the last serious captain that we had. You
That
know what
we
I'm
had,
saying?
yeah.
But you
Yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
had your Henrys, you still had your Lawrence, you still had your Gilberto
Campbell,
Campbells. You know what I mean?
Lehman
Yeah,
as well.
layman. So we still had leaders in the group, and that's what I
Mm.
was just touching on in terms of the young crop of players. It seems like we're getting back to that, where with the characters
Bro.
that we've got.
Yeah, yeah,
Fingers
yeah.
crossed.
Yeah.
Um, long story short, I would give it to Lacazette.
Yeah.
He'll see
Short
out his
term, yeah?
short term. He'll
Yeah.
see out his contract. I don't believe we're gonna give him a contract extension. So give it to him short term. Allow Lacazette to, because you know what, a lot of young players look up to Lacazette.
Yeah, yeah.
Saka,
Yeah.
ECR always saying that when they're on a pitch with him, they love to play with him, and
Mhm.
he's always putting his arm around the young players' shoulders, which you don't hear about Aubameyang so
Yeah.
much, in terms of what we hear coming out of Arsenal. So I'll give it to Lacazette short term, and then in the long term basis, that's either Arteta brings in someone that he knows, that this is who
Mm.
I'm bringing in as a leader, as a captain. Maybe not too dissimilar to how Man United did with Maguire, but it
Mm.
doesn't seem like the Maguire situation is working. But we have seen this in the past where a manager will go and buy a captain,
Mhm.
or just literally, as you said, start with one of our young bucks, either Saka, Tierney, and give it to them, and then be like, all right, cool. You are now the new wave. You are the
Mm.
next gen. We're moving on with you now. You are the one that's going to set the standards, and not only just the standards of the players themselves, but the standards of Arteta, because
Mhm.
the extension of a manager is the captain on the pitch.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the one that is
Mhm.
giving off the what he needs
Mhm.
from the tactical side onto the pitch and stuff like that. So I'll give it to Laka short term, and then in the long term, start looking at maybe your Tierneys, your Sakas, maybe even Odegaard as he's a captain of
Mhm.
his country. Maybe Gabriel with a season under his belt. It could be a case where he could be a candidate. So
Mm.
we just got to see, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know what it is? If Tierney was fit all the time, we need someone that's gonna be there. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? On the
we're
pitch,
tired of having a
24/7.
bench captain.
Yeah, man, we've had that too much now. Like, do you know what I mean? So again, I don't know. Like, people saying that why like Saka is too soon. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, the guy is very responsible, bro. He's very
Mm,
mature for his age. Will it be a lot of pressure? Maybe, but again, like, let's take it back to the Euros as well. Like him stepping up to take that penalty and that pressure. He could have said, "No, I
yeah,
don't want to take it," or whatever the reason.
good
Again, we
shout.
don't know. We don't know what's happened between the penalty takers in that on that day. But
Couple shook man though.
bro, he
Let's
stepped up. I
let's
don't
keep
care
it
if he's
real.
missed. Do you know what I mean? He stepped up. He said,
There's a
"I'm
couple
taking
shook ones.
responsibility, bro." Do you know what I mean? So since he's come in, Saka, he's shown the consistency. He's shown like the responsibility that he's taken on board. Like he's revived Arteta's career at Arsenal. The young
Yeah,
boys. Do you know what I mean? When Emil Smith Rowe and Saka started performing, that that
that
that
saved him.
galvanized, that saved him, bro.
Yeah,
So why are we gonna look past at Saka and say, oh yeah, he's too young for the role, whatever, bro? If you're good enough and the age doesn't come into play, bro. When you're
yeah.
playing first team football,
If you're good
if
enough,
you're
you're old enough.
you're old enough, bro. Do you know what I mean? In terms of responsibility, I get it, it might be too soon. However, he's shown he's not afraid. He's not afraid to turn up and do his job. Maybe the captain's armband might be a burden for him. I don't know, innit? But to throw his name in a hat isn't wild. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, it's
People are
not wild.
going like, "Oh no, it's the bro."
It's
Like
not wild.
he's shown like he's an Arsenal boy through and through. Yeah, he's young. However, we've seen young captains before many times in the past, bro. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? Iker Casillas was captain from a young age at Real Madrid, bro. This is a big club. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm
and
having
he,
a bit
and
of
he,
a rant,
no, no,
but
no, no.
you
But
know what I mean?
you're giving perfect examples because he was one of their own as well. He knew the fabric of the
Yeah.
club. Yeah, no one could come and tell him like, "Oh, this is how you need to be acting." He knew. It's just the only unfortunate thing is just like he had the likes of heroes. He had, like
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah, yeah,
real
yeah.
Madrid guys, like,
Mm,
Mr. Madrids. And we
mm,
just don't have that in order to pass on to the likes of Saka. But sometimes the leadership has to start from somewhere. And look,
you know what I mean?
you see the situation with us now. Whatever the decision is going to be made, we're going to have to make it.
Mm,
It's not going to be a situation. It's like, oh, we don't know who to pick, and then we don't end up picking someone. This is the hardest decision for Arteta to make in regards to the next stage of his career with Arsenal. That captaincy is going to be very important.
yep.
Or the decision to make it is an absolutely important decision to make, and this is why he gets paid the big bucks. This is why
Yeah,
he's in the hot
yeah,
seat at Arsenal, and yeah, whatever he makes, whatever decision he makes, as we are at the moment, we back Arteta because he's the manager of Arsenal.
yeah.
We're gonna have to back his decision in terms of the captaincy, and if it works out, then it works out.
Yeah, I feel Dash quick one. Yeah, I feel like he's clearing up the club. He's cleaning it up. He's doing a lot of the dirty work, which I
Yeah,
don't feel he's gonna see the success of it. He's gonna get the sack eventually because when you're in this transition like this, where you have to clear up a lot of things, not just players, it's the mindsets, the mentality of the club.
I
It
agree.
takes a lot of time. So we might see the success later on down the line with another manager.
I've
Do you know what
said
I
this.
mean?
Yeah, I
So
agree.
we might look back at this and be like, you know what, Arteta was the foundation of this wherever we are at, hopefully wherever we are in the next 5 to 10 years. Who knows? Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
But at the moment, there's a lot of clearing up, there's a lot of backlog, there's a lot of things to change. Do you know what I mean? It's been over a decade right now where
mm.
there's been a lot of just dead wood, a lot of players getting away with a lot of things. So yeah, we're gonna see the success
He's
later.
been dealing with Arsene Wenger's players, Unai Emery's players. The
Do you
logistics
know what I
teams don't
mean?
always get the credit, man. You know what I mean? Coming
Yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cleaning
yeah.
up everything.
We still
But you're
got we
right,
still got Kolasinac there, bro. Do you know
bro.
what I mean? We
Oh
still
my,
got players like that. We still got the Chambers. We still
Holding
got
Chambers.
Holdings. Do you know what I mean? We still got players from that era that has still got that mindset. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
again, it's a long journey. This is definitely shaking up the club a little bit.
Mm.
What direction it will go, we're yet to see. Remember as well, Aubameyang has got a big influence on the club. Do you know what I mean in terms of the
Yeah.
players as well? So mad. Um,
Hey,
but
it's
yeah,
live, baby.
but yeah, it's live. But yeah, man. So yeah, but
Yeah.
this is what we're gonna have to wait and see how we progress, man.
Just in conclusion, now, just obviously because, yeah, I'm still very much like, I don't want to go off on a mad rant in regards to Aubameyang. I don't know if you feel the same, but what's your in conclusion to the situation of Aubameyang being stripped? Um, yeah, how you feeling? So,
Yeah, do you know what it is? Again, we spoke about it earlier on. It's funny how things can go from one spectrum to another, like real quick. Do you know what I
mm,
mean? It's quite sad to see, to be honest with you, because I've been a big Aubameyang fan, and whatever he's going through as well. I've been a player myself, and I know how it is when things aren't going right for you off the pitch. It does affect you a lot on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So whatever he's
mm,
going through, um, those misses that he's had, that's not a Aubameyang, bro. Come on, we know that is not a Aubameyang. This guy is a serious finisher. So for him to be doing that, obviously his mind's not on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? There's
mm,
definitely something going on. So for me, it's quite sad to see the way it's ended because he came in at a time where, yeah, we needed someone to come in and kind of make the club cool again. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a period of time where we had bro, it was some bad players.
bad
Like, do you
boy
know what I mean?
players, yeah, man.
So for him to come in and spruce it up and give us that bit of life, and you saw like when he came in, the energy changed around the club. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
He brought a lot of life to the club. So for him, for it to end, or if it ends like this, it's quite
sad.
sad to see, man, because he's helped us. Yeah, he's helped us to win trophies. And yeah, man,
My,
hopefully it doesn't end like this.
my thing is just like, it's not been a case where like a Shaka situation. He's not. We're not hearing no madness in the press about him.
Mm,
It's not like he's gone into the social media and he's dissing the club, he's dissing the manager. If, like we said, if it is to how the story is being told to us in terms of disciplinary actions, of lateness and stuff like that, these things happen in it. Unfortunately, it's happening with Aubameyang. It seems like there is a lot more to it in terms of his mindset, whether it be his personal life, his mum. We obviously know the situation. He went through the malaria situation. We also got to put into context like this COVID situation is not easy in terms of like traveling and stuff like that. So we heard in regards to that. But let's just hope it's not let's hope that it's at least a fairy tale ending rather than it being like this situation where we're seeing Aubameyang in his kind of former years and down and out. I want to see him back to scoring goals, and this is why I said the captaincy. If it is a case where he the captaincy office is taken away from him, and then that kind of weight off his shoulders is relieved, and he can get back into scoring. That's what I want to see, man. I want to see Aubameyang. I call this guy Dr. Oba. You know what I'm saying? Because he was clinical. He was clinical with it. So I want to see the old Oba back, and hopefully this is like a blessing in disguise. Thanks for watching another episode of a Dash of Sports Premier League show. I truly appreciate your love and support with that. And if you need further information about future episodes or just your day-to-day sporting updates, then come and check me out, man. I'm on Instagram and I'm also on Twitter, which is a Dash of Sports. I'll leave the link in the description area. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, and help me to get these subs up. And remember to press the notification bell as well so that you don't miss out on any of my shows. And until the next time here on the Dash of Sports Premier League show, peace.